Put your headphones on, gentlemen. We're going for a ride into outer space and beyond. I am going to just fucking hit this button right here. We did it. We're live.
Are we live?
Episode 9.
But we're not actually live.
Well, we're not doing live. We're not doing live. What's up, Steve? Steven?
Good evening.
I'm just not... Yeah, oh, man, let's hope we got everything wired up and working correctly. Everything's good. Okay.
Are the lines moving this time?
We got lines moving. Yeah. All right, so it's... what's the date today, anyway?
December
27th.
27th.
Yeah.
Today is...
I just saw it posted at the Monterey Transit ticket station where we were denied entrance as they were closed.
I got to get these cameras correct. That camera does not change to you, does it?
I think the first few minutes of every episode starts off with a little malfunction.
Okay, I got it now. Okay. I got it. Where the car has started, the brakes have been disengaged, and now we're going to talk about life in general. It's right after Christmas. I'm flipping around these cameras. I'm feeling pretty good. I don't know about you guys.
How was your Christmas?
Fucking crazy. Didn't do anything. Didn't go out. Didn't do anything. Didn't have the desire, the energy. I think I'm suffering from a mild form of depression, honestly. Like recently.
I don't know. You're talking about this.
Like, I was doing some research, and it's something I go through every year.
This seems new for you. I don't ever remember you.
It goes through. I consider it a just kind of like I've never really I wouldn't self-diagnose myself in this sense, but I kind of feel like, okay, there's something going on in my head around this time of year every year.
All around the holidays.
Yeah, and and the symptoms are like depression, but it's not like so severe that I need to go get clinical treatment or something, you know. But this year I just felt like fuck, I don't have the energy. I just don't want to do anything. So I didn't. Wife went to Europe. And,
is she in Germany?
She's in Germany. Yeah.
There was an attack there, right? Was she anywhere near that?
No, that was happening. That was Berlin.
Berlin, yeah.
Yeah.
Guy ran a truck through a Christmas market.
There we go. Getting this. Yeah. It's too bad. It really is.
I thought about your wife when that happened.
Yeah.
She was back.
Her friend lives there though, Berlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay. Let's see, Max is 1. I'm 2. Steven's 3.
In the 2 weeks the 2 shows that I've missed,
I'm still fucking it up.
Yeah, refined your process. It is 2 less laptops and more space.
Oh, that's right. Good call, man. Good call.
It's a good thing you weren't here last week.
You know, we do little tests, right? And we tested some live streaming stuff. We tested being able to manipulate a computer right here, and we found that both of them probably aren't really a logical thing to do, you know, with just the 2 of us running things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a little hard.
It requires a little attention.
Yeah, a little too much. So yeah, we pulled that stuff away. In fact, it's helped out a lot. Max had a panic attack last week, the week before last, because he was trying to remember some facts, and I called him on it, and he
That is not the case.
Okay.
As a matter of fact.
And if that computer wasn't, there was a computer here. If that computer wasn't there, he wouldn't have that.
We're gonna have to air that show.
Yeah, we will.
Just for
it's in the vault.
Just for that.
It's in the vault.
The garage tapes.
Yeah, the garage tapes.
So Steven missed it, but you went through that whole last time you were here making that sign backwards, so we could air it on.
Remember that Periscope?
Well, afterwards we watched Periscope, and they flipped the video back around, like
so it
forward.
was backwards.
So it was backwards on the tape.
Is that awesome or what?
Did YouTube do the same?
No, YouTube's cool. YouTube works the right way. It doesn't present it mirrored or anything.
And we didn't have that view on YouTube.
Yeah. We were just using Periscope for that. Yeah, we didn't. We stopped doing that too because it just seems to cut out like after an hour or so for some reason.
We haven't read the how many characters.
Haven't read the manual on that yet. Yeah. But
so anyway, Christmas depression.
Yeah, Christmas depression.
Back to the main.
Man, there are so many good sad stories I have. It's hilarious. It's not hilarious. It's just dark. It's so dark. We're not going to go there. So I enjoyed. I just fucking hung out, and I was in my own little world. Been in my own little world for like the last couple of weeks.
Did you get some time off of your like regular day job?
Dude, there's nobody at work. Yeah, so it's a ghost town. So I have no choice but to be home, pretty much.
So is it boredom that causes your depression? Because you got so much stuff to do. You're busy.
I think it's stress-induced in a lot of ways. you get some outside influences, bad news from family and friends and stuff. And and then there's a lot of projects I do outside of my day job, which takes up all of my time. And, if those projects aren't working properly, I think that kind of starts to weigh on you a little bit, me personally. So I think it's a culmination of the weather change, for one, and the work situation. I mean, work's fine. It's just too much work, but family, medical stuff, dad's with cancer and stuff, So I think it's just like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah. It just seems to be worse around this time.
Yeah, just kind of just a bummer.
Yeah.
But oh well, it's life. It hasn't gotten to that point. It's funny because I spend most of my time when I'm not at my day job doing my marketing stuff, right? And so I spend a lot of time in depression and drug rehab, all of that's that's that space.
Yeah.
So I'm reading the symptoms. I'm just reading through all of this stuff, and I'm like, hey, this kind of sounds like me, with the depression stuff and the mental health. And I'm like, but not that point where I'm like, I need to call somebody and get some help. I can't function.
Yeah.
I can function just fine. In fact, I'm looking forward to. I'm kind of looking forward to everybody getting back to work, like after the 1st of January, when everybody's kind of focused
back
on this
in the swing of things.
This is like success-driven period. I love that in people because
like after
no excuses, resolutions and stuff. So it's a good time to like jump on board the bandwagon.
I feel like those usually last about a week with most people.
For some people, yeah, they're definitely the harder chargers.
Make it go a month.
Yeah, they can probably go a month or two, right? What do you think?
I find the whole resolution flow to be a complete waste of time. I wish and hope and believe that people could strive their best always, and that could be to be the best at relaxing or doing nothing,
right.
Staying at home, or instead of just waiting for the one time of year where it's socially acceptable to do such a thing, you could focus more time and energy on that throughout the year, constantly trying to improve yourself, regardless of the resolution.
The way I look at it though is I look at January 1st as like a big wave, right? And it's like here's a chance to catch a big wave. You can catch waves all year round.
You're talking about like in business,
like in success in life, right? Okay. Like everybody's got on getting on this.
Every day is a new wave.
Everybody's getting on this vibe January 1st. This like we're gonna get the gym. We're gonna tackle some stuff, And I feel it's like a good opportunity for people to kind of like jump in and get involved in their own little resolutions, catch the wave of energy, the positive stuff that's going to be coming that way for at least a month.
Yeah.
Get it. It's a good turbo booster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So instead of downplaying, it's like getting into the holiday spirit. You're just going to have a better time.
Let's turn a new leaf.
Yeah. Now we all know that it is what you make of it, right? Most people are going to fall apart after like the first week or what have you, but take advantage of it. And so I'm looking forward to that because I know it's like, there's a good vibe coming. I'm going to go to the gym on that Monday or whatever, and it's going to be packed with people, and I'm going to be like, cool,
Amped.
Everybody's ready to get started again. I think that's probably my part too, is people were winding down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where's everybody going? Why are you winding down?
Yeah, I mean, starting November, I think people start slowing down and start thinking about, I'm going to start eating a lot for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and
people get tired. They stop doing things. I mean, I'm guilty of it. I was doing it too, right? But that was that whole thing where I'm just kind of anticipating that next thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know. You got any resolutions or anything?
I mean, I've been held down by this foot for the last 5 months.
Right.
And so I'm just now within the last couple of weeks being able to move around a little better every day. So I am stoked about.
Don't you ever do that again, Steven, where you take a call in the middle of our podcast.
Really?
You're going to be fired after this one. In fact, they should be in airplane mode.
It's the only call I needed all day.
You're fired.
It's the I don't know for sure show, folks. It's how we roll.
Busting his balls.
Anyway, where was I?
What were we talking about?
We were talking about my foot.
Yeah.
Just keep it brief because we always talk about my damn foot. But it's getting better. I'm planning on hitting it hard this year. Of course. That's my resolution. I don't really have a resolution. Revolution. I don't really have a revolution.
My resolution is a revolution.
Yeah, but I'm amped up just to get out there and start. I lost my whole summer. I kind of feel like. So I'm ready to get out there and get at it and get back to climbing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. So where you at right now with the healing?
Just going to physical therapy.
Well, you're walking around pretty good.
Walking around, I got a little bit of a limp.
Yeah.
But, I've been immobile for almost mobile, but with devices.
Yeah.
Crutches and peg legs and stuff.
Gotcha.
So now I'm getting around without all that, and
that's good news.
You take all that stuff for granted, like your legs and your good working feet. Yeah, but it's going to take me a little while. It's a devastating injury to my calcaneus.
How was Arkansas? Your Instagram was quite, it was good. I was enjoying that.
The good ass beer.
Good old ass beer. And who was that hillbilly real estate guy?
Oh, I have no idea. It was a sign.
Some good stuff out there.
It's very interesting.
Different culture, man.
It is. But it's like California, like you have good places and bad places. It's kind of the same with it.
You ever been to any of the bad places in Arkansas?
I mean, it depends what you consider bad.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I haven't. No, I think.
What do you think is bad?
I think I've mostly been my family lives in Northwest Arkansas.
Northwest. Now, what's that border?
Missouri. Oklahoma.
Missouri. Oh, okay. That seems kind of like a pretty good place.
Yeah, it's not up there. It's not bad. I think a lot of the stereotypical stuff you hear about when you hear about Arkansas, I think is from southeast.
Southeast.
But I don't know. I'm not, I go to Arkansas every year, but it's probably, I'm there for a week to visit family, and I'm always in kind of Northwest.
And you have no idea where you're at?
I have no idea where I'm at.
Well, that's okay.
But yeah, it was good. I didn't do, I went back there and visited my mom. I haven't been with my mom on Christmas for many, many years. Probably it's the first time I've seen her on Christmas Day in 17 years or something like that. So it was good, to go see her.
What's your mom up to? What's she doing these days? She got that house, right? So
yeah. So my mom was a caretaker for a woman until she was in her 90s. The woman she took care of.
Man, that's got to be hard taking care of an old lady like that.
Oh, dude, the lady started losing her mental faculties.
Oh, so she was going crazy, huh?
Well, for the first several years she was not crazy. She just needed help.
Yeah,
to get around the house. And
old
stuff
people
like that.
stuff, right?
Yeah, and then eventually my mom had to move in with her because she needed more help around the clock.
Kind of a living.
And then she just kind of, she had Alzheimer's and I think dementia. She would just sit there. And that lasted for a long time, years. And I felt so bad because I talked to my mom on the phone. I could hear the lady in the background.
Really? What was she saying?
She would just say the same stuff over and over again all the time. And they're in the last year or two, just a lot of crazy stuff talking about how. And none of it was real. It's all just stuff in her head, but it was real violent and just really strange stuff. And she'd say it all the time. And
was she hearing voices and stuff?
Oh, she'd hear voices. I've seen she would sit there and talk like she was talking on the phone and have full conversations that sounded like they were intelligent. She's hearing something on the other end and responding to it. It's not babble, but it's just
it's like she's finally gotten to that point where. She's just talking back to the voices, right?
Yeah.
She was probably hearing them for years, and she's like, I think I'm going crazy.
Yeah.
But they're just voices in my head. I can ignore them. But then at some point, you draw that line and you say, fuck it, I'm going to just start talking.
And sometimes that's more of a reality than reality.
Yeah. Oh, man.
The last time when she was still, the lady since passed on several years ago, but when she was still alive, I had stayed at the house one time, and the whole time I was there, she never even realized I was there.
You weren't even there.
Yeah, I was in the same room with her at one point for a while, and I didn't even know I was there, just kind of in her own world.
That's got to be so. Could you imagine being inside that person's head, what their reality looks like? Because they're not even there. It's like a VR world, I bet.
And could you imagine having to, my mom as a caretaker had to be there around the clock.
Yeah, she's just kind of...
Imagine being with somebody who was losing their mind for several years.
Yeah.
With very little break. I mean, there was my mom and my sister and one other lady that kind of had shifts.
Oh, you guys kind of... It has a 24-hour shift probably with
24 hours. So my mom was live-in, so she would sleep there and then work there for 8 hours during the day. And then get a little bit of a break on several days a week.
I bet it'd be so creepy. You're staying there and it's midnight. Lady's asleep upstairs, and then all of a sudden she just starts fucking going off on some crazy, weird, psychological.
She did that a lot. She'd start, calling for my mom because she'd hear somebody in the middle of the night, and especially when it first started happening, right? Because after a while, you get used to it.
Yeah.
But when you're with somebody who's normal, and then all of a sudden they're talking to these voices. Then you're like, fuck. Then it gets scary. I imagine for me it would be scary.
I imagine. I mean, how terrifying do you think that could be for that person? What's that?
For the person going through it?
Yeah. Could you imagine? Could you just put yourself in that space for a second where you're laying in bed, and the very first moment you hear a voice, like clear as day, like your mom is like right next to you talking to you, and you're just like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
And then you try to put it away. You try to ignore it, and then it comes back, and then all of a sudden you're seeing shit in the corner, like the Slender Man. Dude. There's like a 14-foot tall guy in the corner, and you're just like, what's going on? Am I going crazy? You blink your eyes, and then all of a sudden it's gone. And you're just like, fuck.
Have you ever had I don't know what you would call this, but I've had this experience several times. And the one I could think of that was the strangest is I was in Las Vegas, like a blackjack table. Mm-hmm. And I was sitting there playing, and all of a sudden I could hear a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Super, super clear, right in my... I mean, it sounded like it was right in my ear. Uh-huh. And I was like, what the hell? And I could hear, like, several people talking. And I was looking around. After, like, maybe 10 minutes of this, I finally saw the table that I could hear.
Ah, cool.
And not close at all. I mean, the only thing I could think of is if you've been in those museums that have like cone shapes and opposite ends, and you can whisper in one.
I bet that's exactly what it is.
And it has to be some sort of reverberation in that building.
Yeah.
But it was so weird being able to see these people that were like 100 feet away.
Oh, isn't that cool?
And hearing the conversation like as clear as I'm hearing you in these headphones. Like, it was really weird.
There's a
So that's what I can imagine it's like.
The Capitol building. Yeah, the Capitol building in Washington D.C. there's a spot there that was designed with like this parabolic like shaped like dome shaped ceiling, because there's like mathematically there's like two modes there that kind of have some perfect symmetry.
Yeah.
So if the sound bounces and hits that mode, and there's I think it reflects off the ground and hits the next one, it'll travel like in a perfect
like wave
geometric
propagation.
Yeah, and so you can design it. You can design it for some distance for these two modes, right? And you get the two foci, I think, and so like whoever designed, one of the architects of the Capitol building purposely designed a room to have these two foci, one spaced here and one like 100 feet apart, and what one guy would do is it had a positive way of, it was like a positive way of eavesdropping on people.
Okay.
Right. So it's kind of like a secret thing. So somebody could be over there talking, and then you could be over here listening.
So you'd make that like the important meeting room.
Yeah.
And then this would be your spot to like.
Yeah. Exactly.
This is like before we had microphones and we could bug a room.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So in that roundabout way of explaining things, it was kind of a good way to spy on people or eavesdrop on them without them really knowing, because you can be quiet, because it's like you move like a foot or two in one direction and then you lose it.
Yeah. Well, and I remember when we were doing that Paralore, right?
Yeah.
What was that? There was like Paranormal State or some really cheesy show where the guy was like,
oh yeah, it was a terrible show. It was a religious themed one.
He was from like University of Pennsylvania, and they did exorcisms and all kinds of things.
That was
real cheesy.
It was bad.
But I remember it seems like they got in trouble because somewhere in New York City they had a billboard for Paranormal State, but they were like doing something like that sound propagation, right? And so it was hitting people. They would aim it at people on the street. So when you walked past a certain part of like whatever the main street is in New York, the billboard sign would like shoot the audio right into your ear.
Yeah.
And so you'd hear someone saying like, "Watch Paranormal State."
I actually know. I know how that works too. Actually, there's I think it's hypersonic modulation. Yeah. Right, so they're
it's
setting
just
up
like super focused.
Yeah, and so they got this hypersonic like beam focused on you, and riding on that hypersonic.
Now, is it like a special? It has to be a special antenna, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, it's kind of a parabolic, I think, dome shaped one. Oh wait, is it?
It's got to be.
It uses these parametric transmitters, I think, in some kind of configuration.
Q36 space modulators.
But
they got in trouble for that. I guess it's somehow against the law or something.
That's kind of shitty. I don't see how it'd be against the law though. But I
mean, imagine if you weren't mentally stable 100%.
If you're a crazy person who didn't have a fucking clue, you just sit there all day long pecking at the ground listening to that noise.
Yeah, and you can think about what people could do.
Oh my god! Like that. Well, we could. It's
possible, and it's probably happening.
Oh man. Well, it'd make a good YouTube show, I think. Having that,
having that and just like
kind of going out there and just kind of deflecting, weird messages at people and just getting their responses.
I like watching the ones where they rig a bicycle, like in downtown LA or something. Have you seen these? And they leave it unlocked and they wait for somebody to steal it.
Oh no way!
And then they shoot it with like 1,000 volts while the guy's riding, or they put an airbag in the seat.
Oh no way!
Oh dude, you got to check those out.
That's awesome.
That's great. It's funny because they put some where they're on a cord, like it's hooked to a cable.
And they just kind of get going?
Yeah, and the guys just one after another, man. They just get on it and they start, and it's downhill.
Oh, my God.
But it stops them before they get in the streets, I guess, so they can't, like, hit a car. But, I mean, they're going fast, dude. And they all, like, endo and, like, slam, and they crash hard. And then the guys are just cracking up about it. But then they're like, hey, don't steal a bike.
Yeah, you assholes.
I'm surprised you don't get in trouble for that because they have a ton of these videos.
That's so funny, man. It just reminds me of, like, a bunch of bass like trying to hit a lure, over and over and over again, just like you dummies, whatever.
I wonder how many. I wonder how long they just sit out there for. Like, I guess it's probably for day. I mean, you just watch it and it's just one after another.
Yeah. Are those guys actually out there standing there, or did they just have a camera on it? And
they're not far. It's not like they're standing next to it.
Oh, okay.
But they're just, they have a camera, and then after they sometimes they take off after the guy, or the guy will try to fight them or something.
Crazy.
It's pretty funny.
I don't know. I'm changing the subject.
Okay.
Just because it popped into my head, but interesting. I got another conspiracy theory. I know we don't like talking politics.
I like conspiracy theories.
But I like the conspiracy side of things.
Is this about the Russians again?
No. This is about, I think, the next 4 years and a prediction I want to make.
All right, let's lay it down.
So today NPR released a couple NPR facts here. Consumer confidence, i.e. consumer spending, is the highest that it's been in 15 years. And housing prices are like shooting way up. So that tells me that confidence is high for the Americans, right? So a little bit of a selection bias here in the state of California, right? In the border, states, most people, aren't voting for Donald Trump. They've voted for Hillary Clinton or something. And but it seems like the rest of the country seems to reflect this positive sentiment, right? And another mildly interesting shower thought. I was like, it's weird that, if we were to correlate the two, if we were to say that people are confident and they're happy because Trump is in office, then that is kind of like there's no facts there, right? So this is a very subjective, like, opinion that the public is kind of placing, right, on the future. Yeah.
America's going to be great again.
It's like they're putting a lot of money down on red number 32 or something. It's like they just have this good feeling, right? And I'm thinking, wow, this is kind of interesting how, the message has kind of honed people. Where again, no facts. There's nothing. He's not even the president yet, but people are confident that something's going to change in the positive. And knowing Donald Trump, I guarantee you that he's going to release the floodgates. He's going to open the floodgates, and there's going to be a positive reaction, which is going to reinforce people's sentiment.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Now,
is this going to be a bubble?
Yeah.
Bubble.
And of course, it's going to drive hard for like maybe 4 years.
That bubble's going to be huge.
It's going to be a biggie, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the bubble's going to be. I don't think it's going to be housing again.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be something else, right? But consumer spending, the habits are happening again.
Yeah.
Right? People are they're going to start to, they're spending lots of money, right? And maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. But I knowing that Donald Trump and how he does his business and all of his bankruptcies and stuff, I just kind of get that sense that it's going to look good and he's going to paint that picture like it's great. Yeah. But meanwhile, it's like shit's falling apart underneath. And eventually it's going to erode and it's going to cause a major catastrophe in the economy. That's my prediction.
Well, everything goes in cycles, I feel like, right?
Yeah. But we just came out of one.
Yeah. So think about when Obama got elected.
Yeah.
There was the same type of, half of the country is feeling this like new hope, right?
Yeah.
And there's the same type of surge and everything.
Yeah.
But it was just the other half,
I would normally agree with you, but since the consumer sentiment and the spending is highest that it's been in 15 years, that's what got my attention, right? Because I agree with you.
I'd like to see how much it increased then, because there's also a huge population increase. So we're always going to continue to break these records.
Yeah, it's true too.
Because the population just keeps increasing,
keeps getting bigger.
You can look at a percentage.
But aren't we losing people? I mean, there's a lot of people that
we're not losing as many as we're reproducing.
I mean, before it was like a huge influx of illegals, right? And that was a big problem supposedly. And now, but I heard, now it's like a recession. It's like people are receding or going away. It may be turning around now that things are getting better again. But I think we're like way at the very beginning.
Yeah, I don't think that people are going away anywhere near the rate that they're coming in. And just, people are having a lot of babies.
Yeah, do you think people are having a lot of babies?
I mean, I'm not.
Fuck, I'm not. I think it's reckless.
Yeah, I think it is.
Right now.
People are having a lot of babies. That's how humans work.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. Yeah, anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking, man. I'm thinking it's going to be probably pretty good for a while the floodgates are opened, right? In other words, the regulations are removed and, all of these things that were put into place to supposedly like kind of steer a out of control bus have been kind of removed. So the bus is just going to go balls to the wall for who knows how long.
Yeah.
Which is going to be fun, I think. Because it's hilarious. I keep thinking
always fun until someone gets hurt.
Yeah, I keep thinking about like the rest of the world. It's almost like the president, like when, like today was Japan and and the United States, like their last meeting as with Obama
as president,
right? And I get this sense like everybody's kind of bummed, like this is the last one, like this is the last good time we'll have or something. And I feel like we just released this rabid pit bull on the world, and he's like, well, I'm going out to fuck shit up. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Yeah. So part of me is kind of interested in how it all plays out. I think it's going to be fun to watch. And then the other half of me is a little concerned, because I'm like, this is kind of reckless, but it is because everybody's kind of cringing, right? Because it's like there's no more sad diplomatic United States, that's gone. It's like now you're dealing with a fucking pit bull.
See,
maybe the true colors.
I enjoy chaos.
Yeah,
and it's fun. It's terrible, but it's interesting for me to watch stuff when it gets crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think it's gonna be near as bad as anyone thinks it's gonna be.
Yeah, you're probably right about that.
I think that it's just you got half of the country every election that panics over something.
Yeah.
Of course, eventually something terrible is going to happen because that's just how that's how humans work.
That's the cycle of life.
It's like when's of course people. I don't know.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
Well, I just like talking about it, making up shit. Just kind of coming up with scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
Scenarios. And
now we have them recorded in case
we create enough scenarios, and one of them's gonna hit.
You could be like Alex Jones, right? Who said I talked about this 10 years ago?
Yeah.
But really, what
this?
am I hearing?
This guy in his phone. My apologies. It's cool. It was picking up. It's transmitting. It's transmitting.
What was transmitting?
Your phone.
To where?
It was picking up this electromagnetic
when
interference.
You said it near the TV and the TV goes
crickle. It was doing that.
Poltergeist.
Yeah.
Poltergeist.
Anyway, I hope you had a good conversation with whoever it was you were talking to.
I can share.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm traveling to Costa Rica in January. And I wanted to unlock a phone that I own. I had to get someone's help in order to do that so that I could just pop in a new SIM card and use my phone in a different country.
Oh, okay.
What's happening in Costa Rica?
Relaxing, beaches, driving, cloud forests, large suspended bridges, zip lines.
It is pretty nice.
Boarding. Yes. It's hard to say. There's lots of great things down there.
It's quite tropical. What is it? The rainy season there around that time?
No,
it's summer, isn't
November, December, and
it's
it
on the
should be drying up.
It's on the other side of the equator, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah, summer.
Yeah, I work at a place up in Felton that has zip lines and rope bridges, and people always come in and tell me about Costa Rica.
Costa Rica.
Apparently, they have some pretty good ones.
So
fucking awesome.
It's weird how they're known for
zip lines.
I was wondering if he was going to say that because everybody tells me I went to Costa Rica. I did zip lines.
I did zip lines. I've never done zip lines in Costa Rica.
It's kind of like coming to California or Monterey and not going to Big Sur.
Yeah,
I just do that to spite them.
Or Disneyland, I think, is more of a
Anaheim?
thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, Disneyland's over $100 a ticket right now.
Is that what it costs to get to Disneyland?
Over $100.
Holy shit.
Even Universal Studios, that used to be like $30-$40 for dating ourselves here.
Wow.
But it's over $100 for one ticket. So for a family to go for a day,
forget it.
I mean, if you're going to eat and all that.
You just get through the door. It's $400, right?
Yeah.
Well, I bet they paint it as some kind of experience. Like this is...
Every human has to do this from around the world.
This is one of those things where, you're going to invest $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for this lifetime experience.
Could you? And then you go there and you got to wait in line all day, and you can only get on like 2 rides.
I guess you can hire.
Look, they can't just prioritize, happiness. Okay, just because you're interested in getting it sooner than the next guy. I'm sorry, they have to have a queue.
Yeah, shoot. You know what I should have done? A good business idea.
What's that?
Sell myself out when I was on crutches.
Oh, for the handicap.
People
angle.
could pretend to be my family.
Yeah.
And then just get on all the rides.
Well, can't you? I think you can upgrade your tickets to like a fast track ticket. It's like $1,000 extra, and you get access to a person that'll just take you to the front of the line, like handicapped people.
Wow, that's
at Disneyland.
But because it's available to everyone, a lot of people do buy it.
Yeah. So even the $1,000 thing is still like you're still in line. You're still standing in line.
I know they have like a fast track that you can go get a number.
Yeah.
And they'll have like a time on, like come back at 3:30.
No, they got like the premium,
the VIP platinum.
the VIP
pass.
Platinum Pass.
The Mickey Mouse Platinum class.
Yeah. So if you're gonna go to Disneyland, make sure you save up the extra $1,000 so you can enjoy your stay. I think.
And pack a lunch unless you want to wait in a horrendous line. For
everything's so
cheeseburger.
expensive.
Last time I was there, this was probably like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
It took us 2 hours to get from the parking lot inside the park because you got to wait in this long ass line to get on the train, and then the line to get in, and then we waited in line over an hour for a terrible hamburger, like your fare.
That is bullshit.
Your local fare hamburger.
It's outrageous. It's not fair.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't. Did you ever work at Magic Mountain?
I did not.
Yeah, see, I worked at Magic Mountain. I was part of that crop.
Everybody in our high school worked at Magic Mountain.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's funny.
It was like the big job where people could drive out of town and do something different. They're like, oh, I don't work in Palmdale.
You're guaranteed
I
a
work
job
in
though.
Valencia.
Yeah, I did it because that was like a place that would hire me. Right, I couldn't find another job other than working for my dad.
Marcus and Tanya and Eric.
Everybody, we all went down there. We all went down there as kids to get security guard jobs because security guard jobs paid the most. And
I think Marcus had the popcorn job.
They're like the concessions.
I can't see him as a security guard.
I got to drive trams.
Really?
Yeah, I got to be the tram driver in the parking lot.
Who's the lady? You drove the lady who's dead now. She married a billionaire.
Oh yeah.
Didn't you, Anna Nicole Smith?
No, it was yeah.
Yeah, it was. I think I remember. Even though it was you that did it.
And what was Elvis Presley's daughter's name?
Lisa
Marie Presley. I'm sure a lot of celebrities go to Magic Mountain. I just happened to get lucky and
you're the lucky one.
I got to drive the security guard in her.
Did you have a little mic and you have to say, on your left is the Colossus?
Yeah, I used to do. Oh man, yeah, they called it spieling. Yeah.
Were you paid based on your ability to spiel?
No, but the job was interesting. Well, anyway, I went back. I wanted to be a security guard, right, because it paid the most. So, so myself and Eric were the two older ones, and then there was Eric's brother, and then
Tim worked there too.
Yeah, Tim worked there too, and Eric got a security guard job. So I don't know why, but he got the security guard job. I got like the second best job, which I think was I got to drive the tram and I got to talk on the microphone and stuff.
That seems fit for you.
It worked. It worked. I had fun. I was good at it.
Yeah.
People liked me, and then Eric's brother, maybe because he was just younger, got like a concessions thing. Okay. I think, but yeah, man, it was so fun. It was. You started out they trained you how to spiel, right? So you kind of developed that like, welcome to Six Flags Magic Mountain Hurricane Harbor, that kind of like radio voice, and then you put kind of a little presentation together. It's just you're just kind of throwing off facts and stuff. So that was kind of fun. Now that I think about it, like if I had to do that again, that would be kind of an interesting thing to do. But
you could call it a marketing resume.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you could actually split test things and get people's attention and engage them. And then they go, oh, if you're competent and you're showing up to work and stuff, they'll teach you how to drive the trams, right?
Yeah.
So those trams are big, man. I think there's like two or three, like so it's like a train.
Did you start off just as a guy on a mic? And then you do that for a while, and then you start driving?
Well, actually, they start you off in the parking lot area, so you're like setting up cones and shit.
Okay.
It's like the worst job. You're changing all the trash cans, and you're driving around. You're
gotta start somewhere.
Cones and stuff, and then they kind of like they're like, okay, they kind of weed out the dummies and keep them there, and then the other ones can kind of graduate to like getting on the trams and stuff, and That was so funny. They would reward you with these kind of these Magic Mountain like dollars or like currency, like this Magic Mountain currency. And then you got access to the park for free, which was kind of a perk too, right? It's funny because I'd gone to that park maybe like one time, and I worked there an entire summer, like 3 months. Wow. And I went there like one time. I was like, I don't really care. There's still people and lines and shit.
It's like going to work after a while anywhere.
Yeah.
Did you ever ride the rides? See, I loved
not really.
Mountain when I was a kid, and we went because it was the highest quality theme park that you could go to as a teenager, older teenager.
Right.
They actually had roller coasters.
Yeah, it was pretty legit.
So did you go to the one in Valencia from here?
I grew up in Orange
here?
County.
Oh, really? I don't know if we already talked about that last time around.
Yeah. So Six Flags was like you would make the Mecca.
Yeah. It's a journey.
Instead of Knott's Berry's Farm or California Adventure or Disneyland or Universal Studios. Now Knott's Berry Farm does have some nice offerings, I will say, but
I've never been there.
I've been there once in my life.
Bigfoot or Goliath, which was the one?
Colossus. At Knott's Berry Farm? Oh, I have no idea.
No. Six Flags.
Goliath. I think it's Goliath.
Goliath.
The big white one?
That's Colossus.
Oh, it's Colossus.
Goliath is newer compared to when we used to go there.
X was good. I'm dating you. I won't do that.
Superman
Viper. Viper was new.
Oh, yeah. Superman the ride was pretty new.
That
was
Viper
like a new one.
feels like a bad chiropractor on crack times 20.
Oh, my God.
I remember that was the big thing when we were teenagers.
Yeah. Yeah, that place is crazy. It was Hurricane Harbor. I'd go to that one quite a bit.
I've never been there.
That was kind of a fun one, like a water park. I wasn't very good at picking up chicks, but it was easy to pick up chicks on the tram. So I got to go on a few dates.
Oh, when you worked there?
Yeah, I got to go on a couple of dates at Hurricane Harbor. That was about it, though. It was fun. It was a good job. Big learning experience. And then I went into the military.
Okay. How long were you at Magic Mountain?
God, I don't know, like 3 or 4 months probably. No, I had to be longer than that. I don't know. I was clear. Did I go in the military? Man, I don't know.
It's a long time.
I'm dating myself now too. Yeah, it's like I have no idea. But anyway, Magic Mountain. Fucking would never go there again. I don't think. Maybe you'd have to.
I'd probably go there again.
Think so?
We kind of have to go.
You got to go?
We kind of have to go now.
Oh.
What the hell?
Well,
there's a Great America up here, right? Six Flags.
I've never been to any other Six Flags.
I know we're better off probably going to a roller coaster specialty park somewhere in the Midwest. Like Hershey, Pennsylvania, and do one of those big epics. If you're gonna do it, make it a thing.
I've been to Hershey, Pennsylvania once, and I went there to go see a Fish concert.
Fish?
Fish. Yeah. It's when I was hanging with all the hippies down in Virginia. Yeah, we went up there.
Yeah, the hacky sack.
We did.
We improvised.
With the patchouli oil.
Oh, yeah, man.
But the whole town smells like chocolate. Anywhere you go, it just smells like chocolate. It's pretty interesting. There's a huge chocolate factory there.
No way, really? Hershey's chocolate. I guess it makes sense.
It smells good.
That's kind of cool. Put a bunch of people
That's it. That's all. That's the whole story.
And the moral of the story is Hershey's, Pennsylvania smells like Hershey's chocolate. It's great. Crickets. You guys watch Star Wars?
I have not seen the new one.
I don't watch Star Wars.
I don't really watch anything with a star in the name.
I was too disappointed by the last Star Wars movie to have any interest in seeing the one that was recently released here in late 2006.
I have no fucking idea how many Star Wars. I think there's 8. 8. And they jump around, and as a function of time, they're all over the place.
Well, we've lost Princess Leia today.
But we did lose Princess Leia today, and that was kind of a bummer. George Michael, too. George Michael.
On Christmas Day.
What is up with that? George Michael.
The former singer?
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
Oh, no, I'm pretty out of the loop.
He's never going to dance again.
53.
Too soon?
Way too soon.
Yeah. Sorry.
Wonder what happened. What do you think happened? Gonna jump into some speculating here, but I think he died of pneumonia.
Pneumonia?
Caused by
cocaine? An
autoimmune disease. No, I don't know. I'm just spreading rumors now because I have no idea. I don't know. When somebody dies at 53, being a rock star, I have a feeling that maybe it was drug related. Maybe that's just my best guess. My best guess is, maybe it was drugs from like the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, it could definitely be something like that.
Yeah, you never tell, man. I lost one of my very good friends last year, and you remember this, from a heart attack, and he was 32 years old, healthy guy.
What the hell is that all about? Yeah, there's a lady at my work that had a heart attack like 2 days ago, like the day before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. Yeah, like that Thursday or something last week.
She lived?
Yeah, had to have open heart surgery. Had to have 4 bypasses.
Wow.
It's a fucking gnarly, but
Quadruple.
dude, it's number 1 killer in the United States.
Would that be a
still.
quad pass?
That's a quadruple bypass heart surgery.
That's like
Yeah, it's pretty
8 passes.
insane. Yeah, Debbie Downer. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I think hers is more stress and food related though, not drugs.
Okay.
I don't know what killed Matthew. What do you think? Do you think it's
I
just
think
a
he just
degenerative thing, like, or not degenerative, but just something like?
I think he may have just had a heart problem and never
Yeah.
went to the doctor and never knew about
Probably. It's probably. What? Yeah. I mean, when you're that young, it's usually shit like that.
it. Shit happens.
Fuck, man. Yeah. Anyway.
Let's talk about something happy.
I know. I was gonna say
Christmas.
my neighbor
Merry
told me she
Christmas.
got cancer.
God.
I know, it's terrible.
So what have you been up to, Steven? I haven't seen you for a couple weeks.
So I finished my first semester back at college, and the hard work paid off. I found out I got straight A's in all my classes. I wasn't taking a
Dang.
lot of classes, but I took
What'd you take?
an anatomy one
That's hard,
and
man.
2 lecture and lab, so just university level, and did well in those. And took an online resource class for the library, which is a requirement for any associate's degree.
I bet
out
it
of
was a
Monterey
waste.
Peninsula College.
Was it a waste?
No, it was actually pretty
Did you
cool.
learn something about
I
research?
did. Yeah, I did.
You're so positive, Gene.
No, it was a waste. Waste of time. No, I have no idea. Go. Tell me about it. Tell me about it, sir,
Especially
please.
because it gave me an introduction to what it is to have an online class. I had been pretty skeptical about it, but I found that even though it's an online class, I can still engage with people in the library or around in regards to the project. It's designed to stimulate conversation or dialogue, not necessarily just, okay, we're going to put all the resources and all the homework and all the quizzes and all the tests on this one little thing that's on a screen, and you don't get to interact with anybody. That's not what it is.
Yeah,
It is
sure.
what you make of it.
Right.
It just
Tell
gives you
me-
the freedom to do your work anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Your
So
classroom is anywhere
So
you
how
choose
does
to
that
be.
work? Because I've thought about taking some online classes, and they even have like times on there. So I was like, do you got a beat on there? Is a teacher like teaching something live and you're watching on
It could
like,
be.
Skype type of thing?
It's a great question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
what do you mean by time? Time.
I mean, I was looking at the book for Cabrillo College up there,
Yep.
Santa Cruz, and there's like online classes, but they have scheduled times.
Oh, that they meet?
Yeah, so
But it's an online class?
that's what it looked like.
Oh, okay. Well, I know what I do personally is I live stream some stuff. I live stream residential classes to DL students.
Yeah.
So it's very possible that that's what you have to
Yeah, that's what I
experience.
was wondering.
A live stream. We also pre-record all the lectures too, and then we'll put those up. And sometimes they'll be like what Steven was saying. There's just like videos up and chapters to pages of fancy books that are leather bound.
Right.
To student tech manuals. I'm so out of it.
I understand what you're trying to say. It varies.
So how does
probably based on what a teacher's willing to put into the class is my guess. If the teacher's willing to do a lot of interactive stuff, a lot of videos, a lot of pen casts. I know my anatomy teacher, despite the fact that we had an in-person lecture and lab, took so much time to take opportunities and provide them to the students that were willing to go to these online resources.
Right.
And she'd have a 3D or a 2D anatomical drawing, and then she would record audio to her tracing it. And it would be very relative. It's almost like a lesson in like 5 minutes, just consolidated, or 10 or 15 minutes, whatever she's willing to put into it. And sometimes she was whispering because she has a young child and she didn't want to wake the baby.
Oh, really?
He's like over here. She's juggling multiple things, being a mom, being a teacher. It was enlightening to see how much these teachers care at MPC.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah,
It's kind of cool. It gives that her a chance to continue to teach.
Yeah.
At home with the kid there or whatever.
Yeah, still get it done. I know.
She's a department head. This chick is killing it.
Wow.
She's crushing it. 2 kids, and she still does a lot.
That's busy. Yeah, I know with the physics stuff that we do, we pre-record everything and we have lesson plans for everything. The the instructor's time is reserved for like answering questions and stuff, because that's probably where most of his time is spent, is because you can watch a lecture and figure out a lot of stuff just by watching the pre-recorded lecture. But like I know with physics, because it's complicated,
people are going to have questions.
People are going to have way more questions, so the time is best spent like working with the students there. And then we do the live stream stuff and both, and then they come back to the lectures and stuff. It's really good. I mean, I think it's a good way to learn, honestly, because you could watch this stuff over and over and over again at your own time.
So if you're taking an online class, is there ever any opportunities to somehow work with other students? Is it social?
Oh yeah, a lot of times you got to go in and meet. You got to meet. It's a hybrid type of thing.
Okay.
Where like,
come into class once a month and then like have a.
Yeah, like my wife, she's getting her master's degree at CSUMB, and she's got to meet once every Saturday with her group.
Okay.
And then they got to get together as a cohort, which is like the class.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once a quarter or something. But most of their lectures and stuff are all done online. It's kind of interesting.
And they're in like a long program, right? It's not just
2
like
years.
a single class.
Yeah, it's a master's degree, I think.
And is she with the same cohort for the whole 2 years?
Yeah. I mean, you get stuck with some fucking assholes in your group, like some boring, or not boring, but people that want to contribute or they don't want to show up, or you just end up with a couple of anchors,
Standard, for group work.
But they're stuck with you, You're stuck with you. So that kind of is a big old shitty bummer. What is that? Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
Yeah, an oldie but a goodie.
Jesus Christ, that's a good book. I like that book.
A lot of layers to this book.
Yeah, it's an interesting book. It's got some good messages. I heard the kind of underlying story of Napoleon Hill knowing all of those guys like Carnegie and stuff was not true.
I actually don't know much about the backstory,
but it's a good book though.
If it puts you in a good state of mind, and it seems to have some good principles to share that don't harm you or someone else.
Dude, everybody that I've looked up to in the world of business, not everybody, but most people go back to that book. So that's a good place to start.
It's a phenomenal book.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich.
But it's got applications everywhere. It's a positive thing. It's like think positive, surround yourself with all with all the right people, and kind of
like the
leverage.
habits book.
Like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah. Stephen Covey.
Yeah, I did end up doing one of those courses because my work paid for it. It was nice. I mean, it was fun. It's like 7 days. Yeah, it's weird. The self-help stuff. There's just always like a little tool you can put in your toolbox.
Yeah.
It's like you get this fire hose of stuff, and maybe those systems work for.
It's what resonates with you.
Yeah, it's like jiu-jitsu in a lot of ways, where you can try all this different stuff, and then everything you learn, you kind of take from it. But you never really learn everything completely. Like you don't learn like every single move in Spider Guard, or
you build your own style.
Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing. So I like the Stephen Covey stuff, but not all the stuff. I don't know. Anyway, happy fucking Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. What are you doing for New Year's Eve? Parties?
I haven't even thought about it. Yeah. Man. Yeah, I was thinking. I wasn't thinking of anything. You're going to Devil Makes 3 show, aren't you?
Yeah, you should go. It's on the 30th, though.
Yeah.
I figure I don't want to go downtown, really, on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy.
Hang around the mountains.
Yeah. Mountains seem like a more peaceful place to be.
Yeah, there's a few parties local going on.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. What are you going to do, Steven?
I'm looking forward to a guy named Jason Fan drumming on this Alvarado Street. He's like a conga djembe.
Like a street drummer,
like
dude?
African drummer. He's got a big band that's going to be working. They're all working together.
Oh, yeah?
From 7 to 10 down there. And last time I heard this guy drum, I danced.
Oh, man.
And danced. And that sounds like a good time.
Oh, shit.
Is Alvarado Street, is that here in Monterey?
Indeed it is. And I have some friends that live just up the street, so it'll be very easy to access. Go get cozy, warm up, whatever you want to do.
Are there many good music venues around here? I think I've been to...
Man, there's good ones everywhere. I don't know.
Golden State Theater. That's the only one I've been to. Saw Old Crow Medicine show there.
And did you like it?
That was good.
Excellent.
It was really good. The opening, it was one of the few times I liked the opening band just as well, where I actually bought the opening band CD. What were they called?
The
Deslins.
The Deslins.
The Deslins, I think that's how it's pronounced. It's a weird band name, but they're pretty good. The Deslins. Gene somehow claims to have taken part in booking some comedian at the Golden State Theater.
No. You know, I was none of that ever panned out. I don't think I followed up. Do these work now? Okay. Yeah, I don't think. Okay, so I was going to get Tom Segura to come to the local theater.
Yeah.
Because he was going to San Francisco, and I figured a lot of people stop here in Monterey before they go to San Francisco, and I was like, well, I'd love to go see Tom Segura in San Francisco, but if I can get him here in Monterey, then I'll just go down the street, right? So I call his call his booking agent. Oh, I sent him an email, and this is
how'd you find his booking agent? Is it just like readily available?
Just some interneting, enough interneting. I figured it out, and so I sent him a message. But the problem was I reached out way too far ahead. I think like 6 months in ahead. I was thinking, we gotta get this going now, and so I reach out and they're like, this is a great idea. And then I'm like carbon copying the guy who promotes the Golden State Theater, and I'm getting like this conversation, this dialogue going back and forth. And I'm like, all right, set in stone. Well, not set in stone, but it sounds like the ball's rolling. And then I left it alone. And then I forget about Tom Segura coming to San Francisco. And then I find out Tom Segura's coming to San Francisco, and it's like a week away. And I'm like, oh, it's probably way too soon to try to.
Let's just change our plans real quick.
Yeah. So it didn't work out. I tried it with Bill Shatner too, William Shatner. I was watching a lot of Star Trek at the time. And man, this thing is crazy. It's like
that is a lot of smoke.
It's ripping right now.
This fucking thing is just going off.
We're hotboxing this joint.
Jeez, man, there's so much incense smoke in here. I could barely breathe.
I know. I was like,
I can't even tell my Bill.
I thought your fire alarm was.
I can't even tell my Bill Shatner story about how I tried to get him at the Golden State like Tom Segura. That also didn't work because I didn't follow up.
I thought you did succeed in that, so I think I've been telling that story wrong.
That's okay. You just keep telling it the way you remember it.
Yeah.
I'll like a legendary
correction.
Yeah.
Gene was failure.
Big old failure. Gene just didn't follow through.
I shouldn't call him a failure. He's depressed right now.
Mildly.
Breathing exercises, man. This is like week 3. Are you keeping up with those?
Nah, not as much as I should have. Got to get some more sun, I think, too. Oh well.
Come on up on New Year's.
Hang out in the life. We'll see.
Hang out in the moon.
Exactly.
We'll play our hit song we just wrote.
We've been writing hit songs.
Shoot him till he's dead.
Shoot him till he's dead. And
I want to sample it right now.
Yeah.
Perform.
I doubt we'll ever remember it.
Yeah.
We should have been recording like Prince.
Well, I thought about that.
I thought you might have been.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about it last week.
Let's
play music. Come in here.
You know what? You think about it. Given today's recording technology and disk space and how cheap it is, there's no reason why I can't have something going 24/7, right?
Do it.
And then with like some kind of backup system. So it gives you a little time to go and pull what you need to pull off of it.
It's like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, I think if I depended on that to make money or something, like that was my bread and butter.
Yeah.
I would be on that. I think because that's a good idea, honestly. To like anytime you have if you're an ideas person and really you need to
record all the fleeting thoughts. That you have.
Yeah. Oh man, I think as a musician that was brilliant of Prince to do that. Because sometimes that's the hardest part of writing music is getting it down on something.
Yeah.
And then you always tell yourself, I know my way out is either A, it's not that great, or if it's that good, I'll remember it later. Yeah. That's what I always tell myself. I'm like, well, if it's that good, I'll just remember it when I have a recorder handy, right? Which is dumb, right? This is like the dumbest story I could tell myself. But I mean, to have something going at all times when inspiration hits, man. Yeah, he was definitely onto something, and I could see why he's got 100 years worth of music locked up in a vault somewhere there.
Yeah. Or you could just not record it and remember it being a lot better than it probably actually was.
Yeah, I could only imagine what what his process was for making an album. If he has that many albums out there,
maybe he had like some sort of test group. He would just listen to all the songs and pick which ones were the best.
I mean, to get to the point where you're going to record a studio album, right? I mean, that's a process.
I mean, like out of the ideas, like he could pick the best ones, and then like maybe he had a confidant. He'd say, "Listen to these like 100 songs. And pick the best 10."
That's another good one too. Is like, did he write all his music? I don't know if he had writers. Like, if he could just throw an idea at somebody and say, "Look, hey, this is on my recording machine. Go off and make this a hit." Or
I think
something.
he wrote a lot of his music. I think he even wrote a lot of other people's music. As well.
I think so too. I think you're right.
One of them Willie Nelson type guys.
Yeah, because I mean, I know for myself, like I could come up with like little bits, like little like, oh, this is a cool riff, this is a cool part of a song, but they never ever kind of come out into like
a full body.
Like, here's a full manifestation of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But if there was somebody there, I could go, hey, take this idea and flesh it out for me, and then we'll go back and forth and polish it up or something. I think that would be like probably increase the chances of success.
Well,
so who knows? He made so much music, and to think that they're all studio like level recordings, like they're high end. Vocals have been done multiple times. Dubbed the guitars and all that shit.
Well, think about the 20 years or something that we've kind of just messed around playing music together. If we'd have been recording all that stuff, I mean, every like 2 or 3 years we'd have a good idea in there somewhere. Like, hey, that don't sound too bad.
And you know what? To be honest with you, doing it all the time, it just exercises your brain.
It's like anything.
It gets easier. It's like anything. It's like it's like writing. It's like, you want to get better at writing. You think your writing sucks now? Just keep writing.
Failure way to success.
Your brain figures it out, and that's the same with music too. Because I've been on a tear lately because I've just been at home writing music and doing internet stuff.
That's good.
And it's like every time I pick up the guitar, it gets easier and easier and easier. And I don't remember it being that way, and it's probably because I never put an hour a day worth of energy into something. Like at my age now, when we were kids, we'd play 8 hours a day for fucking ever.
Yeah, what else you got to do?
Yeah, what else we got to do? We'd get high and we'd play music. That's what we did. Yeah, and it was fun.
Yeah,
we had a good time.
That's the way it was, and we liked it.
It's exactly the way it was, and
being depressed, I think, helps with playing music.
It helps the music.
It does for me. Like,
yeah,
I think it's the other way around, though.
Depends on the kind of music.
If you're a little depressed and you play some music, it usually lifts your spirits. It connects you with something primal, especially if you're hitting a drum. Guitars are a little different, but it still has the same flow.
Yeah, no, drums. Yeah, no, I definitely feel better. I actually feel more creative when I'm when I'm down. Yeah, it's been nice.
That's how you get those feelings out, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like externalizing. It's like you're going through your own little therapy or experiential.
Some people just paint like, this is how I feel.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. There's this guy. I got to show it to you after this. His name is like Will Burris. Anyway, I don't want to botch his name. I'll use it. I'll bring it up next podcast. But he makes these like little vignettes, these like 11-second clips, 30-second clips, and each clip is like music and video, they don't make any real sense. He does like one every day, but they're kind of catchy. And then when you string them all together and watch them all in one shot, it's like really fascinating, right? It's funny. It's like his music and his video. It's all in these little clips, these little art clips.
Okay.
And I was thinking because I have this issue where I just never complete a song, right? But I'm really good at like stacking and building these like these cool little vignettes, these little like 20-30 second clips.
Yeah.
I'd be like, and I thought to myself, I was like, wouldn't it be kind of fun to like put up a YouTube channel and then have these little clips and then go out and film some stuff and then just kind of get creative and then just kind of piece together this little 30-second thing.
Yeah. A little trailer, a little teaser.
Yeah, anything, right? Whatever your feelings are.
Or have you ever seen Reggie Watts perform?
Yeah, Reggie's awesome.
You could, with a couple more tools, you could take that 20 seconds of content and just go with it, build off of it, and explore what that could be like from a variety of angles.
Yeah,
I have one of those loop machines.
Do you?
He uses.
No, that's cool.
His entire setup costs less than $1,000. My friend Zach and I, we do music jams and we'll just goof around or whatever. And I was like, have you heard of Reggie Watts? No. Cool. I'll show you what he does. Oh, I bet that's really expensive. No, boom, find the thing. It details exactly what he uses, like 5 different things. I have it on my phone. I could pull it up, but $1,000 or less for everything he does.
Yeah,
he's really talented too.
It really comes down to what he's doing with his skill set.
I can't figure out how he really taught. Like I was introduced to him when I went and seen when Conan O'Brien like lost the Tonight Show, and he he went on a comedy tour.
Yeah, right.
Legally not allowed to be funny on TV tour
Yeah.
or something like that. Reggie Watts was his opener.
Oh,
So I went and seen him at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
And that was how I first heard of Reggie Watts. The guy's really funny.
Yeah.
But he talks so many different ways. I don't know how his real voice is.
He's called a disinformationalist. That's what he calls
Oh,
himself.
okay, so he's meaning to fool everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes he sounds British. Sometimes he sounds like, it's funny. Have you heard him? No?
Oh, well, I know who he is. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but I can't say like off the top of my head that I've listened to him enough.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I don't know what color he is. I don't know what voice he really has.
Huh.
He's a perfect guy to be a, what does he say? Disinformationalist?
That is correct.
Yeah, okay.
What does that mean? Disinformationalist.
NPR did an interview with him and a session with him, and in the article it describes what a disinformationalist is, and he does these 3 improv songs, which is basically the subject of most of his work is improvisation, and it's you
just have to
gotta
hear it,
take
right?
you got to take it for what it is, and there's no 2 Reggie Watts creations that are similar or alike. They're all individual.
That's a trick. That's kind of an interesting thing to like get really good at improv, whatever it is, whether it's music or acting, like an improv group or something. To get good at it, it just seems like you're so on the edge there.
It's
you know,
it's great. It's the best.
Yeah. I don't know. I get that feeling like, I mean, to be good at it would be cool. It'd be really cool.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
cool.
But then they're like, because I think there's some comedians that are kind of more or less that way.
Yeah.
Like stand-up comedians that they have no fucking idea what they're going to talk about.
They just have an interesting perspective. All they need to do is speak, right?
Yeah, I was at the Ice House in Hollywood, and I can't remember who it was. But the dude was like hilarious, but he didn't say anything. I mean, or he said a lot. He just didn't have like any coherent sentences.
Yeah.
He was walking around on stage and he was just mumbling and shouting words and pointing to his elbow and shit, and people were just
And it worked?
fucking laughing and laughing. Yeah, it was hilarious. And he was kind of like a dude with like kind of like a mental health condition or something, but he dealt with it, you know. And he even talked about like his mental health issues and stuff. But yeah, I don't think some people just, they don't have jokes. They are the joke. They just get up and they just fucking open their mouths and it's hilarious.
That's like Mitch Hedberg. Like, he had jokes, but it was more of just the way he saw
delivered
the world,
them.
right?
Yeah, his perspective. Well, I think like Joey Diaz, right? You know who Joey is, right? So Joey Diaz, I don't get the sense that Joey, and maybe he does, I could be completely wrong, but I don't get the sense that he sits at home and he rehearses in front of the mirror, you know, what he's going to say, his deliveries and stuff. I think he just gets out there and tells stories, and he just has a personality about himself that just everything he says is fucking hilarious, you know? But is that improv? That's just being yourself, right? What is improv, do you think?
Well, I think of improv shows and like, you know, freestyle, like being able to, like improv rap or something would be. Like, I mean, is that the same as freestyle? Or you're just making up stuff as you go and able to respond to someone else? Like, I've been to...
that would be like one of those rap battles. Yeah. That's kind of an improv. That's a type of improv, right?
So I've been to like improv shows.
Yeah.
Where people in the crowd will yell out topics, and then they'll have to come up with a show between like 6 people about whatever weird topics people yell out.
Right.
I think that would be improv, I guess, just being able to...
I'm willing to bet that the people who can adopt the topic being themselves as opposed to trying to be a better character, probably better at it. Like if you can be natural at the deliveries, you're not trying to pretend to be something else. Be authentic, maybe, is probably a lot easier. I don't know. I'm just kind of off on a tangent here, talking about improv. But anyway, we're going to start our own improv troupe, and
let's do it.
Going to go on tour, I think.
Going to go on tour.
I think it's a good idea. Yeah. Well, you guys are just fucking talking. Where are we at here right now? We're at an hour. How you feeling? You want to keep going? We can keep going. I don't care. What are you doing?
I'm enjoying the show.
You just hanging out?
Yeah, I'm listening.
Yeah. I got to get a drink of water or something. So, you mind if I get up for a second?
Get yourself a drink of water.
In fact, would
you like one too?
I would love one, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Just carry in as much as you can.
Okay. I'll be back. You guys.
So
it's still going.
So what's up, man? What's happening?
I'm pondering A motorcycle dilemma. I had to replace the engine on my motorcycle because I let the first one run dry.
What kind of motorcycle do you have?
It's a 2006 Suzuki 650 V-Strom. It's a sport touring bike. And
you guys want one?
what are those?
It's a lemonade. I don't know.
It's a beverage.
It's really awesome.
I'll play it safe with the water too.
Water.
Sports touring bike.
So the engine that we purchased to replace the original turned out to be a different year and a different model engine. And it is not a problem that could not be overcome, but in so doing, we lost our momentum waiting for some specialty screws to come in. And
those suck.
It's
Jesus
been
Christ.
really difficult to get the momentum back.
Specialty screws equal expensive screws. No?
$2.38.
Really?
Stupid.
Do they need a special tool?
But the cost in time lost and it just in
So do you race
Awesome.
bikes, or you just?
not at all. I'm pretty new to the motorcycle scene. I would say I started learning in 2016, and I had some great teachers, really
Okay.
great teachers.
I'm scared of the motorcycles. I think my dad was a biker.
The motorcycle is a killer.
Yes.
Yes, the motorcycle has been known to kill.
The motorcycle, the one. Yeah, they make me a little nervous. I could climb mountains, but motorcycles and diving into water make me nervous.
You wanna donate an organ?
I am an organ.
You got a
donor.
good foot I could have?
Ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Ride a motorcycle. It'll guarantee eventually an organ donated.
That's right.
If you don't hit somebody, somebody's gonna hit you. I'm just saying.
Speaking of organ donations, have you heard any more about the Scientology? Have they come to your door? Any
No,
more
man, they
since that
stopped
one day?
coming. They stopped coming.
Just the one day, leave a pamphlet?
I didn't read the book either. Like I said, I was going to read it. But hey, invitations open. Scientologists, they don't want to come. They don't want me. You know, it's interesting. They had an interesting message. I was reading one of their advertisements, and it was surround yourself with better people. I think is what their headline was.
Are they trying to say they're the better people?
Yeah,
Come hang out
yeah.
with us.
Isn't that interesting?
Dude, when I was in Arkansas, I
I kind of like that message.
My mom has cable, right?
Yeah.
So I was flipping through the cable because I don't have cable. It's been a long time
Yeah.
since I see. There's a show on there with Leah Remini. I don't know if it's a series.
Who?
Leah Remini. I think that's her name.
I don't know who that is.
You know the show
Porn
King
star?
of Queens? I don't know.
Oh, I know what you're talking
The
about.
wife from King of Queens.
Isn't that Kevin James on there?
Kevin James
Yeah.
and I think her name's Leah
That was the
Remini.
wife. That was the wife. Okay.
So she was in Scientology from the time she was a kid.
Oh, no way. Okay.
And so she tried to get out, and now she's doing this like several part series
Oh,
on how crazy it is.
Yeah.
And I watched a few episodes of it because I was thinking how you were talking about Scientology.
I remember I caught I haven't watched it, but yeah, I've seen that come across. Now,
It's
thanks
crazy.
for pinning it down for me.
It's it's crazier than I thought. They make people like if you want to get out of Scientology,
yeah.
then they're gonna like excommunicate. Say you have a mom who's in Scientology and you want out.
Yeah.
They're gonna tell the mom that they can no longer communicate with you at all. They have to break all ties because you're a negative person.
Negative. Oh, interesting.
And they have a term for it. I don't remember.
Oh, maybe they said
detractor or something.
positive people, not negative people.
So Nicole
Yeah.
Kidman, Tom Cruise, people who are pretty
Outcasts.
hot in the popular culture, they are Scientologists, are they not?
I don't
Yeah.
think, is Kidman a Scientologist?
I don't know if she is now. I mean,
Yeah. And what was that?
John Travolta. I mean, there's a lot of like,
Yeah. Yeah.
those famous people.
Did you watch Going Clear on the on HBO?
I did not. Is that Scientology too?
Yeah, that's a good
They're
one.
weird, man.
That's the original. I think that's the original. Not the original, but that's a really good documentary. Like there's been a lot coming out lately. Louis Theroux's got another one. I haven't seen it yet though.
So from watching that show, it looks a lot. I mean, it's gonna sound kind of funny, but it looks a lot like Choice Center.
Oh really?
In some
yeah.
ways.
Yeah.
But imagine if Choice Center was like
like that extra.
almost like prisonish.
Yeah.
To where if like you've gone through Choice Center now, you can't leave, and if you, hang
Right.
out with these people, you'll be excommunicated and can't even talk to your family.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah, that would be pretty creepy.
And they just try to.
That's a real cult. That's a legit cult.
yeah.
A legit cult will do that to you. You know.
And it's been around since like the '60s.
Oh, it's
I
yeah.
don't
L.
think I
Ron
realized
Hubbard,
that.
man. He's they're a 501c. They don't or C. I think they're
501c3.
they're tax deductible charity, right? Organized religion.
R2D2.
No, they're organized religion. I don't know what that tax code
I think
is.
it's like a C3PO.
I think it's an RTD2 actually. But yeah, they don't pay taxes. They own like fucking so much real estate. They own like half of California.
They have
man.
like a village.
They got like a they got a cult village. They got skyscrapers. They're just. It's amazing. It's brilliant too. At the same time, yeah. Some of those buildings that they have are big.
Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like L. Ron Hubbard would flat out come out and say, what was that saying he had about making money?
If you want to get rich, start your own religion.
Right. So he starts his own religion. You know who this guy is, right?
I'm learning more.
Yeah, L. Ron Hubbard. Yeah, so L. Ron Hubbard, he holds like a Guinness Book World Records for writing the most sci-fi books, like 1,000 books. Maybe that's the most books ever from one person. That's probably what it is. He wrote like 1,000 books, right? And then crafted Dianetics by L. Ron Hubbard, which is basically the Bible for Scientology. And he created this religion. And he was kind of a lunatic. Obviously pretty smart because he was very manipulative. He was able to do what he did, but he got away with it. And this organization is still kind of running at full, like $3 trillion. They have like $3 trillion.
That's like more than most countries.
That's huge.
He was in the He was in the Navy.
He got kicked out of the Navy.
So he has this like branch of Scientology
called the C. I forgot.
But they all have. They wear like almost like a naval uniform with hats. They go through like a boot camp, and it's just like having a military for Scientology. And it's like an honor if you're in Scientology to be part of these.
That's a big one.
Sea cadets or whatever.
Yeah, the Sea Cadets or whatever.
But the one of the other guys who came out with Liam Remini is one of the guys who headed the whole. He was like one of the head guys from Scientology who's now escaped it or gotten out of it.
Okay.
And he's talking about all the weird stuff they did because they like tried to separate him from his wife and kids.
They do this thing called auditing. You ever see that, Stephen? Auditing. So you ever go to like the fair or something? You usually there's a Scientologist booth there, and they'll sit you down and they'll give you like two
probes.
They're like they're like pipes. They're like stainless steel pipes. You'll hang on to them and they're connected to a meter, and they'll start asking you questions. They'll ask you things like it's like, how are you feeling today? Is there anything on your mind that you like to talk about? And this meter like is fluctuating, and based on how the meter is fluctuating, determine the questions that they ask, and they'll kind of probe deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's kind of like, again, it's kind of like therapy in a little way, but they take it to like a whole nother level, right? Like they do these auditing sessions that last hours and hours and hours, and they do it all the time over years and years and years, and they record everything. So they develop a file on you, right? And that's some of the speculation for a lot of these movie stars. They speculate that there's like so much dirt on their auditing that it's pretty easy to blackmail them if they really wanted to. So it's easier to just kind of be the outspoken kind of marketing arm for the Scientologist group as opposed to like going against them, So I don't know. It's kind of scary.
Sounds like mafia, bro.
Yeah, you said it. That's how they're making money, man. Yeah.
It's like, you remember the Jonestown Massacre?
Yeah, Jim Jones.
That was like in 1980 or something, right?
70s. I think it was. Maybe it was 80. Maybe it was 80.
And it was over 900 people that were
80.
part of his congregation. Over 900 people killed themselves on the same day, and their kids, and their family.
Yeah, and they had like a shootout. They had like a shootout on the airstrip, and they like shot a senator, like a congressman or something that came to visit to kind of. He wanted.
That's kind of what started the whole showdown.
Yeah, it was crazy. Another religious cult that was kind of. They ended up taking off to like the Caribbean or something. They somehow like all managed to get on an island, like St. Thomas or some crazy.
Oh yeah, but they were here when they killed themselves. It was somewhere back east in America.
No. You're talking about Jim Jones, right?
Jim Jones.
I think that's the Jonestown Massacre.
Yep.
Right.
Jonestown.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on an island somewhere. Like, watch, I could pull it up real quick.
Did Mr. Jones kill himself as well?
The Jonestown Massacre.
Mr. Jones did kill him. I think he shot himself. He did not drink the Kool-Aid. So have you ever heard the term "drink the Kool-Aid"?
Yeah,
that is coined from this event.
Yeah, the cyanide.
Yeah,
Jonestown Massacre. He
shot himself at the end while everybody else ended up drinking the Kool-Aid.
At least he didn't like flee like a coward. I'm
pretty sure that was in America somewhere.
It's in Guana.
where everybody.
Yeah, Guana. Damn, that's a long ways. That's way.
Africa?
Yep, Jonestown. Jonestown is the informal name for the People's Temple Agricultural Project. Jim Jones, under the leadership of Jim Jones, 1978.
1978.
November 18th.
Yeah, we were
And
alive.
did they actually do it, or was this like a CIA operation killing off a bunch of people?
No, this is just some crazy dude. They had like a religious thing going on. He's kind of another David Koresh-like character. And he was a preacher. And he had his kind of his philosophy, and he convinced 900 and something odd people, probably more, to they took off and started, they started kind of a project that says in Guana of all places. So he started his like little compound, his commune.
So is that where the massacre took place?
Total of Jonestown, all but 2 died of cyanide poisoning. Congressman Leo Ryan was murder suicide. Yeah, the Jonestown massacre appears to have happened in Guana. Yeah.
Insane.
Guana. Where the fuck is Guana? I want to say that's like in Africa or something, but
I was just guessing. I actually do not know.
oh, yeah. I don't know either. But sounds far away to
I
get
don't
that
know
many
for
people.
Sure.
I don't know for sure. That hence the name.
I think it's near Guam,
Could be.
alphabetically.
I have no idea. But yeah, I have to draw the line at participating in cults when it comes to death, I think. Like the Hale-Bopp people.
The Hale-Bopp. Did they? Yeah, that was a smaller scale. They committed suicide.
Yeah, I've driven by the hotel where they had the
Like bags over there. That was in San Diego.
man. They're all dressed up and ready to go. Remember when that comet was out there?
Yeah.
Out in the sky, Hale-Bopp. It was out there for a long time. It's kind of neat.
There was
Remember that?
aliens on that comet that was going to come take us away.
That was the idea. You remember
That
that?
was our
You know the
salvation.
Hale-Bopp cult?
No.
Yeah, so there were like some religious cult that thought that when was Hale-Bopp? That was like in the
Probably
90s.
90s. Yeah.
Yeah, so they had the Hale-Bopp comet, which kind of we could see it.
For quite a while. It was
Yeah.
visible, right? Was that in San Diego?
Yeah, it was in San Diego, and so they all thought that they were going to catch a ride with the comet and go off to some other
What?
realm. Yeah, this is what they thought.
But they had to kill themselves so their spirit could get up onto
Yeah.
that comet.
Oh yeah, they were clearly doing drugs.
How could you fall? Even if I was a type to like go to church and have somebody
No.
there preach to me, as soon as you start talking that type of shit, I'd be like,
Basic understanding
Alright.
of physics and reasoning would make that very challenging.
yeah, I don't
to
think a lot of people don't.
grasp.
Obviously, a lot of people don't use common sense or facts.
and some people are just raised into this. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the Jonestown thing.
Yeah.
They're teenagers. They get picked up.
You
as,
don't
like-
know any better.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know any better. It could be, I could see that being like super easy to get stuck in some kind of crazy cult like that. And if your parents are telling you this stuff, and the religious guy next door happens to be a leader, and he's telling you all this stuff, and yeah, those are the peers. Those are the adults in your life. Yeah, definitely.
When your church starts collecting a lot of guns, that's when you should be worried.
Really?
And
Do
let-
churches do that?
Churches.
I know they collect money.
Yeah, they're good at that.
Yeah, that
Canned
was
food.
David Koresh had like a whole like arsenal.
Yeah.
Which is why they came in, I guess, in the first place.
Another compound was.
and they just burned. They just came in and burnt that place.
Was it because
down.
of? Was it because
the
of?
government did?
Was it because of guns? I don't know.
Well, I mean, there was a lot of stuff going on there.
Tax- I
with
thought
the
it was
recent-
taxes.
There's child abuse.
yeah,
and stuff like that.
fucking lunatics and.
But I mean, taxes. They're going to just come in and burn the place down.
taxes are a good excuse. Oh, that shit just escalated out of control.
Yeah.
That was just mishandled. I don't think they went in with the intention of killing people.
Just some dumb guy with a.
Janet Reno,
Yeah.
she died recently too, like last year.
Right before
This
the
year?
election.
God damn. Everybody's going to hell in a handbasket.
They're all going to burn.
They're all going down. Yeah. I was watching this show on Netflix called OA. This is an interesting one.
OA.
This is
I think I haven't seen the show.
the
But
last episode. Spoiler: the last episode sucked, but the whole thing was really good.
So is it like a one season
Yeah, it's another like
Type of thing.
8 episode like
story done?
just injection into the
So if the last
jugular.
episode sucked, did it ruin the whole thing for you?
No, I still liked it.
Okay.
The premise is this doctor who's exploring near-death experiences, and this is what his work is about. Not really kidnaps people. It's funny because he invites people over to his house after they kind of hear his research about his research, and they've all had near-death experiences. These people that he encounters, and he imprisons them. He locks them up in his basement, and he's a scientist, right? And so he locks them up in this basement, and he keeps them in this like four of these people in like these glass cages down in the basement, and they're fed like food pellets and stuff, right? And he's got cameras on them and everything. And
is this like a horror movie?
Nah, it's not really a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's more of a psychological thing because you're dealing with near death, right? And really what it comes down to is he's gassing them, and then he's got like this apparatus that drowns them and kills them, and then he's recording that period between like being alive and then like passing into death.
Yeah.
And he's trying to analyze that area. Anyway, they get to a certain part where they die, and then he's got a process for bringing them back, right? So they basically spend years and years and years trapped in the basement,
Dying and then being resuscitated.
over and over and over.
What an
right?
existence.
Yeah, what an existence. So
The things we do for science.
What did you do
man.
today? I died again.
I died again.
But they
the
brought me back.
thing is it's kind of like Westworld in a little way, you know, where their memories are being wiped.
So they're not even thought of as people.
They're using scopolamine. I think it's called scopolamine.
Spicoli?
Devil's breath. You ever heard of that drug?
No.
They'll blow it in your face in like Colombia, and you'll turn into a zombie, and you can't remember anything, but you're highly influential and manipulative, right?
What?
That's like a voodoo.
You didn't know about that?
That's kind of how
long did that
zombies got
last?
created.
Oh, it could last like a day, 24 hours or something like that.
But it wears off, and then you become you are the same person, or
People.
Is it permanent?
What happens is like say a criminal. A criminal will blow this stuff in your face, and then you'll become a zombie. Pretty much, you'll
Go rob this person.
He'll be like, no, let's go to the ATM and you can withdraw all your cash from your bank account and you can give it to me. Yeah, that's usually the scam.
So is that why all the Asians that come to our town wear these masks to prevent
Zombieism?
Scopaminism?
They say there's a lot of
I think it's called scopamine. It's devil's breath or something.
Yeah.
But anyway, the idea is in the show, it's in a gas form, and he's gassing them with this stuff. And then once they're under the influence, then he'll take them and then he'll run them through like this killing thing, and then record a bunch of stuff, and then bring them back to their cells after he resuscitates them, and they don't remember a thing, you know. So that's like 8 episodes.
It's like Flatliners.
Yeah, it's like Flatliners kind of. It's a good show. It really is up until like the last one.
What does the OA stand for?
Oh, I don't know. I am the OA. It's like the Alpha and the Omega, maybe the beginning and the end, the end and the beginning. I don't know.
Okay,
I'm guessing. I'm just throwing it out there. Good show though. I liked it because just the idea of like taking the person, getting to that point where they're like he's drowning them in this apparatus, this machine, like they're in this machine, and he's like filling up this fishbowl kind of thing, you know, around their heads, and they're like drowning, and then they're going into like this weird blackout thing, and then he's got like microphones in their ears, you know, so he's like capturing like this aural stuff that's going on in their heads as it's like happening. And he's collecting all this data. And then the really creepy thing, another spoiler alert, another creepy thing is this is a program. There's other scientists doing the same thing, and they're all trying to figure out what's going on after we die.
It's like an arms race for dead people.
It's crazy, yeah. So you end up with this, like, you're like, well, this guy's fucking demented. And then you realize he's got colleagues that are doing the same thing, you know, and they're like sharing information and stuff. It's crazy.
I remember reading an article where a scientist or somebody had said that they had somehow weighed the body.
Oh.
Like before and right after death.
Yeah.
Somehow weighed, like they figured out the amount the soul weighs or the life energy.
That was the original, that was kind of an original intent to, I think that's been debunked and disproven, like.
Yeah, it sounds.
But like, you know, the turn of the 17th century, 18th century, you know, way back in the early days of medicine, you know. Somebody, I don't know who it was, but that was his thing. That was his
just threw
work.
him on a scale.
His work was to like find a scale that was sensitive enough that he could measure the weight of the soul as it left. Because to those guys, like again, we get back to how you're conditioned to believe things. I mean, even being scientists, you're just conditioned to believe that God existed.
You figure out ways to prove your theory right.
Yeah. So you're looking for something to support what you feel is fact.
Yeah.
You know, and I could never make it work. Obviously, there was just nothing there.
The soul weighs approximately 0.2 grams.
Yeah. Well, or not, or not. Yeah. But anyway,
What's happening this week? What's going on next week?
What are we talking?
What are your plans for the future?
What is this?
I thought we were going camping. We've been talking about that for like a month, and now it's too damn cold.
No, it's not.
Yeah, we could still do
That's
it.
true.
Go camping.
Brave.
All you need is a good
the
puffy.
winter.
A good puffy coat, and you'll be fine.
That's all it takes, man. Just a good puffy coat and a little, just
Takes a nice sleeping bag.
little tenacity, you know. Get out there into the cold. It'd be fun to kind of do some. Well, I say this in a nice warm room, but I was thinking it'd be fun to camp in the snow.
I mean, I camped in Yosemite several times last year,
In the
all
snow?
through the winter.
You're putting all of that outdoor survival gear to good use, testing it.
Why can't you camp in a car in the snow? You have an FJ. It would be way comfortable.
I've slept in that thing. It sucks ass.
It is
Okay.
against the law to sleep in your car in Yosemite National Park.
I can imagine, and there's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
You'd have so many people sleeping in their cars, saying that they're living in their cars, saying that they're sleeping in their cars camping, probably.
Well, I was camping at Camp 4
Yeah.
last year, and I went to my car to try to charge my phone,
Yeah.
and I passed out in the car.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just sitting there and like,
What else am I gonna do? Take a
yeah,
nap.
Had a few beers when I was camping. You know, I was like, I'll charge my phone real quick.
Yeah.
And I went in there and I was just sitting in the car, passed out, and then like I don't know, an hour or two later, on the window,
Hey,
I'm
buddy.
like, oh shit, yeah. And I was like, shit, I've been drinking, but I'm sitting here in my car parked in the parking lot. I've got a pass that I've paid to be here. You know?
Uh-huh.
The guy's like, what are you doing? I was like, I just came out here to charge my phone, fell asleep. He's like, that sounds reasonable enough. And he just wanted to see my thing. He said, all right, well, you just want to make sure you weren't like
crashing out.
Yeah.
Like a bum, like a sandbagging climber bum.
Yeah, and there's plenty of those. I've done that many times.
Oh yeah, that's probably why they got that rule now.
Yeah.
They're like, you guys take advantage.
If it was, it wouldn't be so
Is
bad.
your
if it was
name
only the
Max?
climbers. Yeah. We heard about you.
You fucking scoundrel.
Yeah. Damn climbing hippie dirtbag.
It'd be kind of fun though to like go camping in the winter. You know, just get a fire going.
If you want to go, let's plan it.
Okay.
We've been talking about it for literally. Like
we
4
should do
weeks
it when I don't have my dog.
No.
I gotta wait till the wife gets home.
When does wife get home?
Like the 11th of January.
Oh well, that's only like a week or two.
Oh
away.
yeah, it's 2 weeks away.
We should just pick a date right now.
Yeah, how about this?
I gotta mark it out for
I'll be
my-
gone the 15th through the 17th. How about like the last week of January?
Let's do it.
Fucking God, it's gonna be crazy cold.
Now here's the other question: does it have to be a weekend, or can you get a weekday off?
I could probably get a weekday off.
Let's do that. Then we don't have
Yeah.
to deal with all the crowds.
We don't want to deal with crowds.
All right, I'll book a spot.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Now, where do you want to go? Do you want to go close or do you want to go far?
Probably close first.
Okay, let's ease our way.
Yeah,
into the
come on,
wild.
buddy. I mean, geez.
Well, there's Pinnacles.
Pinnacles is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Really, the test is what we'll do is I'll bring some cameras, and we'll make a survival show. It'll be a survivor show,
All right.
and we'll just film it like we were like it's hunting, like the hunting TV show.
I don't know how good I'll
the
be
hunting
getting
TV
around yet
channel.
in a month.
Well, you could. What can you do?
Yeah.
You can.
I can move around just slowly.
You can sit there and.
I think in a month from now I'll be running all over the place.
probably be climbing those peaks out there.
That's right.
Yeah. I wouldn't say. I would say you're probably going to be climbing in no time.
Well, either way, we're going to be camping.
Yeah, that'd be fun, man. I think it'd be good. You want to go, Steven?
Last week of January.
He's thinking Costa Rica, right?
No.
Yep.
Yeah, we're ice fishing.
That's
we're
cool.
we're ice fishing in Pinnacles.
He's gonna
And,
be
Do you see
naked
my
on the
clothes right
beach.
now? I'm in shorts, man.
I'm in a tank top.
it's gonna be nice.
Yeah. I ain't gonna be cold.
I ain't gonna be cold.
Are you gonna be where are you staying when you get down there?
Well, that's a great question.
Like a house, or are you gonna be in a hotel, or are you
I
gonna
have
be
no
like in a
idea.
hut or something?
How long are you gonna be there?
We're gonna be on the ground for about 8 days.
8 days. Who's we?
I'm going with my friend Zach King, Emily Aiken, and our mutual friend John.
So you got a crew.
We got a crew going.
First time I've ever traveled in a group of friends.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Where are you guys going when you get to Costa Rica, man?
Well, we're gonna fly into San Jose International Airport from San Jose to LA, layover, back to San Jose in Costa Rica, and we're going to pick up a rental car. We're going to head north up into the cloud forest and check out the volcano, and we're going to maybe do a zip line out that way, make our way day 2, head down the coast, the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, and that'll take the majority of the day to work our way to the southern Nicoya Peninsula, or the Osa Peninsula, actually, and we're just gonna enjoy the drive. We're probably gonna try and go snorkel or
How
scuba
many,
or boogie board or
okay.
chill, enjoy the local cuisine.
You gonna be there like a week or so? You think?
Yeah, on the
8
ground,
days.
8 days.
Man,
Pay attention.
did you say that?
I did.
I was, you know, I got caught up in your story about zip lining and cloud forests and stuff, and my brain started wandering, and then all of a sudden your voice was like a muffle.
Good.
That's,
That's a creative imagination
Right.
taking over.
I think it's a skill to listen, isn't it?
We got 2 of these and 1 of these. As Curtis would say.
That's Curtis.
Yeah.
Where's Curtis from?
Curtis is from North Carolina.
North Carolina. They got some shit going on over there in North Carolina. Do you know about that?
I know they have barbecue.
They got some good barbecue. North Carolina
Oh,
style.
yeah, barbecue means something different to them than it does to us, by the way.
Oh, really?
So
They're like pork. They're like a pork.
it has to be pork.
Right. And it's got kind of a vinegar, like a apple cider vinegar
I'm okay with
based cutting sauce.
Yeah. So for us, throwing
Yeah.
anything on a grill is called barbecue. Right?
Yeah.
California.
We're grilling. We're not really barbecuing. Yeah.
that. Yeah, but barbecuing is traditionally smoking.
Yeah, it sure is. It's a big deal.
I'll eat any of it, whatever you call
Yeah,
it. fine.
I'll eat that shit too, man. It's pretty tasty.
I don't think I'd want to eat the rolling around pig.
You know,
rotisserie.
I was talking about
With
that
the
last
face.
time.
Oh yeah, you do.
I don't like eating.
It's
things
so
with
good.
faces. If I get to see the face.
Well, you know, just
Yeah, just kind of block that.
kind of block. That looks like the
Where's the bacon? Where do I find the bacon?
Yeah. That's like the best way too, you know, because oh yeah, man,
I wanna.
open fire spit like that, just the pig, just
Apple in the mouth.
apple in the mouth.
Yeah.
It's
People
just
eat
going like that for 8 hours straight, you know, slow and easy.
It's all about the pit.
By the time it's good to go, everybody's been drinking a 12-pack apiece, and they've been playing, you know, games that make them money, and they've been having a good time.
Or
Yeah.
losing the money.
There was this game. I remember this. We used to have this
Pokemon Go.
when I was a kid. We used to go to this Easter egg party at this rich guy's place. It's like everybody knows a rich guy, right? You know, and so the rich guy we knew had thrown this party. He was like real heavy into 4-H or something. And this is like I lived in Rosemond or something. So
What's 4-H?
4-H is what is 4-H?
It's like horses.
yeah,
It's like agriculture.
yeah,
Right? And animals.
It's big in high school and junior high.
It was a big Palmdale Lancaster thing.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like if you were in 4-H, you had to have a pet, like a horse or
a
goat
pig,
or chicken or something, like a farm.
You
type
raise
animal.
it, take it to the farm.
Ranch class.
Yeah, it's kind of like ranch class.
That sounds badass.
It's just another type of it's another activity for kids in agricultural areas.
Have you ever gone to like a local fair and there's the section of all the animals?
We have it. We have it here. The horses and shit that they have over there, and the hens.
Those
and
are
the
all
cows.
like 4-H kids. who
Those are
have
all kids
animals.
raising that, and then they get they go to auction, and then the local meat produce people and stuff buy it all up, and it's usually kind of a charity thing in some ways, and you know the kids make a little money and they learn about farming, and then you know,
Stewardship.
That would be so hard
Stewardship.
for me. I can't imagine like having
That's-
this animal, raising it, because I like animals, right?
I think that's part of it too. That's
I
part
can
of the
do it.
moral of the story, which I think is a bad. I think that's a bad thing in some ways. Like let's
I could do
Get
it.
close to this thing and let's kill it.
Yeah,
I mean, I eat meat,
So we can teach you a
but
lesson.
I don't like to think about it.
Yeah.
because